Well, have a look at this. It's a blueprint for finding your calling, marketing yourself, landing great gigs, reboot your career, written by Tim Ragan. And guess what? He's with us right now. Hello, Tim. I'll hand you back this book because it's your baby, right?
Thanks very much.
Keep your hands on your baby. Performance engineer, Career Constructors. So, how long has Career Constructors been around?
So I bought a company, a career company, in about 7-8 years ago, and I've been experimenting with it because I'm fascinated by how to help people sort of through their careers. And so the company itself has been around for that time. I rebranded it as Career Constructors a couple of years ago, with the view that constructing a career is something that is an active activity that everybody really has to go through.
Okay, so active as in doesn't matter what age you are, you're consistently
pretty much
constructing your career?
Yeah, we're in a world now where things are highly disruptive, and in the early stages it's trying to get traction. In mid-career it's trying to find some sort of rationale for why you're doing all the stuff you're doing, and a lot of the stress and discomfort in organizations. And later in career it's if I'm going to work another 5, 10, 15 years, I want to make sure that I'm working on purpose, that I'm doing something I care about, that I believe in, and trying to, how can you help people find those things and discover those things?
So what's the first tip then? Like, how would you help somebody? Because I know a lot of us are stuck in jobs in life, they just sort of go through the motions and they're not happy. So how do you help people find their happiness in that regard? Well,
so the first really important thing is to sort of do the inside work, what I sort of call unpacking your backpack. So I believe that we've all got sort of a metaphorical backpack of experiences we're carrying around, and we're adding to it all the time, but rarely do we go into it and kind of parse through it and say, what is it? What is the themes about the work that I've really loved, and the themes of the work that I've really struggled with, and how do I find more of the work that I love and less of the stuff that I don't like so much? But you've got to actually be aware of what those things are that you really enjoy doing. Most people don't do that. When most people start saying, gee, it's time for me to get on and find something else, we turn to the job boards, and so we immediately start to kind of mimic whatever they're asking for, because as we're kind of multifunctional beings, and so I could do this, I can do this, I can do this. So it becomes really easy to start just parroting back what people are asking for, as opposed to saying, no, I'm very clear on what I care about, what my values are, what I'm looking for, and these are the kinds of opportunities that really drive my crank.
Okay. Do you have a lot of, every age approaching you at this point? How young, how old?
Yeah, we've helped clients between the ages, I would say, of 18 as they're starting to go into post-secondary, and because a lot of the big questions also are, what do I want to do? What kind of degrees should I be getting? What degrees lead to that perfect job? And the reality is that's a false way of looking at it, because it's not about what degree I have. It's am I doing stuff? Am I learning stuff that I actually care about and that I'm putting myself into? We have clients in their mid to late 50s as they're sort of just aligning themselves for that final 5-10 years of career. And we even have and have worked with a lot of people in post-transition, so they're sort of saying, or post-career, I've got the pension, but I'm sitting at home for 20, 30, 40 hours a week. I want to do something. I again want to not only give back, we tend to want to find more purpose in our later years, but also just, if I'm going to spend this time on the planet, I want to do stuff I actually believe in and care about. So we've helped people through all of those different phases. I would say the core is really sort of the 25 to 45 range.
And you're helping people, I like this in the green room, we talked about that, you're trying to help people think about 3 to 4 careers ahead.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to even think that we're in that state right now.
Well, but I really do believe, from my own experience and 20 years in the high-tech industry, and jumping around and loving the volatility, but man, if you're not good at cruising through a lot of uncertainty and change, it's very, very disruptive. And so the thing is that we tend to approach job search as a one-off. I'm going to find this perfect job and then it's going to be just great and wine and roses. The reality is that no, you're going to be transitioning multiple times. So it's a core skill about how do I look at the market and transition effectively and think about what am I learning, what's the next step, where am I going?
Okay, so you have an Ottawa Career Transition Workshop coming up on October 5th.
We do. It's basically a one-day intensive course where we really dive into the blueprint and we start to do some of that work, and then we follow up after the workshop with 6 weeks worth of continued instruction, email instruction. And again, the idea is to get people into that headspace where they start to do a little bit of the work and start to start thinking about it in a different way, in a systematic way, and start putting the pieces together.
Okay, who would be best to attend this workshop?
Well, anyone who is actively in a career transition. A lot of people who are currently looking for work are busy out posting on the job boards, as I mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. And what we find is that after doing that for a few months, it gets extremely depressing because you don't get a lot of feedback. So people that are in an active transition or thinking about a transition, not fully satisfied with what they're currently doing, thinking about where they want to be going next.
Yeah. So you must have a lineup then of people wanting to get into this workshop.
Well, we like to keep it between about 10 and 15 people so that there's an opportunity to really work with people and everybody gets a lot of the value is also in the discussion of a bunch of other people, because when we're in a career transition period, we tend to think that we're the only people doing that. Everybody else has these lovely lives that we see on Facebook all the time. Mm-hmm. The reality is most people kind of think some part of their life just isn't working. Okay. So a lot of the discussion is really, really powerful because it's
Okay. October 5th, Westboro Loblaws, 2nd floor?
That's correct.
Okay, what are the exact hours for the workshop?
It starts at 9 o'clock and goes till 4:30, and we feed them, we give them refreshments, we give them some breaks, and we really get a lot of work out of them in terms of, of starting to think through what they want to be doing.
So it's a full day of learning.
It's a full day of learning.
Tim Ragan, thank you very much from Career Constructors, careerconstructors.com for more details. So best of luck with the workshop.
Thank you very much.
And thank you as always for tuning in.